Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Leslie. If you haven't been here before, you wandered across my little corner of the internet. Today is one of my favorite videos to do because it's actually stuff I'm doing for myself. I love that. I don't very often get to craft just for myself, but I did. And what I made was some 3D items. And what I thought was everybody loves the results of a beautiful 3D item like this one. Hang on one sec. It does have a top and it's just gorgeous. But nobody realizes that there is also an ugly side to 3D printing before all the beauty comes out. So let's have a look at that. I'm going to bring you down to the table. There we go. This is the ugly side. This is what you see. And if you were new to 3D printing, you'd probably feel like I did the first time this happened. Oh my, what do I do now? Well, I grab a tool, I grab a support leg, and I very gently start taking supports off. And what shows up underneath is your project. So this is what I call, better put my glasses back on, guys, the ugly side of 3D printing. Now, when you're doing this, be very gentle and be very sure that what you are removing is, actually part of the supports and not the print. I made that mistake a couple of times on little wee items that I thought, oh, that's part of that tree, what I call tree, but they're supports. And then only to realize later that it was actually part of our 3D. Now, if you have some that you just can't get a clear grip on to get them off, it does happen, do not panic. I have these. I know they're files, but they were bought for filing down the sharp edges. And I just take one and I fit it in underneath the little space and lift. And sometimes that's all you really need to just very gently have it go in there and do the lift for you. This is the part of 3D printing that takes a lot of patience. Sure, a print could take 11, 12. I've had my longest print so far has been 19 hours. But this part seems to me to be the longest because that 19 hours, sure, you check on it once in a while. But really, it's all up to your machine, right? This part is all up to you, your patience, and your skills. So for me, this can turn to be the longest part. Especially if I'm having a bad day with my hands. Some days I can't remove supports. You couldn't pay me to do it. There's just no way. But there's other days where everything goes well. Now I did this one. This one was, hang on one second, all one piece. Like these printed as two pieces, which is fine. I don't mind because they printed like this. Okay. And all I'm going to do is take my super glue, put it around here, just like so. It doesn't take much. I just like to be sure. And then I just push it down in. And sometimes you gotta really give it the good push, okay? And be more stubborn than what it is. So there we go. We just leave it there like that now, and it will dry, okay? There we go. But ones like this, they print in one piece. And so it's very easy to print because you also don't have to worry, well, there's not as much waste in a one-piece print because there is no extruding the different colors to switch colors, right? So in a one-piece, one-color print, it's very easy and has less waste. Minus, of course, all of these. This color is copper, and this one came from Maker Online, I believe. Yeah, this one was Maker Online, and it took almost 6 hours to print. I did it with the original print settings so that I didn't have to worry about anything. So what you're doing is just very carefully removing all of this, okay, to reveal the beautiful design underneath. All of this comes off the bottom also, which might seem like a big job, but once you start breaking off the bottom of the supports, this is easier to remove. You just pull with all your might. That's why I say sometimes I can't get a good, like if I'm having a bad day, I just can't peel it. But today is a good day, so we're peeling the copper away to reveal the design underneath. And I love this. Now, if you wanted to, you could add color to it with some finger rub-on paints, with some craft paint, you know, whatever you want to do to help it come out. I think that I will end up doing some rub-on paint or finger rub-ons just to help highlight where some of the copper is. But anyways, this gives you an idea of the ugly side of 3D printing, right? It's the leftover filament waste between colors and with supports and stuff, and it's removing the supports, especially on one like this where the supports are heavy, like there's a lot of supports. But if there wasn't, it would collapse in on itself. So you really want to make sure that you do print those supports, okay? And then there's a little guy like this. And this little guy was called Lego Grinch. And he came from Bamboo Studios. And his supports, thank goodness, are very easy to remove. But you do want to be careful around his little hands, that you're not removing his hand and just the support, because it goes right in his hand to keep the two sides of his hands separate and make it look open, right? So you very gently want to peel that back. There are just, whoops, some days where you got to be, just have the gentle touch, and some days you're going to find you need to have a very firm and, you know, more kind of, I guess I could say aggressive touch to what you're doing. And then this little one here doesn't want to come out, but it will with that. And so there we go. And we have a little Lego Grinch once we get all of his supports off. So this is what I have been doing. I have been making these beautiful Christmas baubles to go on the Christmas tree. And I'm printing off as we speak a reindeer bauble. I'm printing off a Santa Lego, and can't remember what the other Lego one is. And there's a few more of these bulbs to the set that I want to print off. So I have been having fun. But I did want to share with you the ugly side of 3D printing, because you know what? You can't avoid it. If you're getting a 3D printer for Christmas, you can't avoid. If you want to do 3D printing in multicolor or single color like I did here, there are ways to cut back on the waste. I'm not going to get into them. I'm still learning them myself. But I find the best way is to do single color prints like these with a graduated filament, so that as you turn them, the colors change and look beautiful. So there is that, Then do a solid print, add some color yourself. Do a print like this. I mean, this printed as one print. So there was a lot of color changing on my little Grinch. And my little Grinch here took almost 7 hours. So he took the same amount or more time to print than my big bauble. And that's because of all the color changes, right? But there we go. So if you're getting your 3D printer for Christmas and you're all hyped up, go with it. There's going to be some waste. There are ways to use that waste. Some good, some I'm not sure would work. But you know what? When you look at it, if you're doing laser printing, which I love to do, laser cutting, you're going to have wasted wood. If you're doing paper crafting, you're going to have wasted paper. It's just the dark side of these crafts. And eventually, I tried everything at the beginning, but eventually I learned to just go ahead, accept it, and move on. I cut it back as much as I can, and I enjoy what I create at the other end. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I am going to spend mine making a whole bunch more Christmas decorations, and I think I might print a little village for our Lego people to go in. I'm just going to relax and have fun, guys. Take care, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye.